Can Doneiko Slaughter as a spy, as Daniel Craig as James Bond? Can he help Arkansas defend Tennessee's offense, particularly the passing game? Caleb, you start.
I'm going to say no. And the reason I'm going to say no is this offense is totally different from the offense they ran last year. And honestly, in some ways, it's different from what they ran in 2022. So I don't think Doneiko Slaughter really has any real experience going up against this, what Tennessee is running right now. Furthermore, and I'll say this, I don't think Tennessee's offense is that complicated where you can't like figure out what they're doing. That's not what makes it hard. It's just that it's really hard to defend. It's not, I mean, you kind of know what they're running. We know what Josh Heupel does. It's really hard to defend if you have the personnel to run it.
I think that he can help in player tendencies and he knows strengths and weaknesses. I think that helps him and he can help coach up his guys if he's a good culture guy, which we just questioned out of left field. He can help his guys, but no, I find it hard to believe that Doneiko Slaughter is going to be able to look at a game film and see anything more than Arkansas's defensive coaches who are getting paid 6 digits plus. I mean, if that's the case, then they even more so need a clean house. I mean, if you have to go, hey, what should we do here, defensive coordinator? Hell, I don't know. Somebody get Doneiko Slaughter on the phone.
Dave, I'm not going to let you disrespect these coaches. They work very hard and they're very intelligent people. And you have never heard me say a negative word about football coaches, okay?
That's true. That's true. And wherever you post, either on our stuff, which we appreciate, and I love the comments on YouTube. I try to get back to as many as I can. But apparently GBDH has turned into a thing, which is Go Big Dave Hooker, which calls me big, which I'm not really as much anymore. Would you call me big, Caleb? Because I lost a lot of weight before I met you. Am I still a big guy?
Maybe they mean big somewhere else.
Now, am I still a big? That's a given. But am I still am I a big guy? I mean, I don't like to. I just.
I mean, you are. I mean, you know, it's just I don't know how many people have seen Hooker. And,
okay. So, yeah, if you want to go post on other people's socials and our socials, GBDH, that's apparently taking off. And
maybe because the show's getting big.
Yeah. I think it's because for some reason people put me on TV and radio here in Knoxville, and there's a lot of Dave out there, which I'm not advocating. But while I say that, please hit like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. Hit like it. Now we got GLDH. I guess that's Go Lean Dave Hooker. Yeah,
no, I think that's Go Little Dave Hooker.
Go Little Dave Hooker. Okay. Jack, I know, buddy. It's out of respect, man, and it means a lot. It took me a while to get it, but it's pretty awesome. So thank you. Back to Doneiko Slaughter. So we don't think that he's going to be calling plays for Arkansas's defense. So can Addison Nichols help at all?
What?
Not on his. Not. I'm going to go ahead and steal this from you. Not on his backside, because that's where he's going to be for most of the game on Saturday. I mean, Addison Nichols. I will just go ahead and tell you, he is dreading Saturday because he knows how good these defensive linemen were last year, and he's seen them improve to this year. Doneiko Slaughter may be excited for the challenge, especially since Tennessee has a propensity now to be more defensive minded and a little bit more ball control with the 12 personnel, which means 2 tight ends. But I guarantee you, if you could look into his heart of hearts, Addison Nichols is dreading Saturday and scared to death he's going to get embarrassed.
All right, so here's the one thing I will say on the other side, believe it or not, is let me ask you this, Dave. Tim Banks does run a lot of stunts and twists. And is there any rhyme or pattern or tendency to those?
No, but you know what that means.
What?
Is Tim Banks is a lot smarter than Addison Nichols. And while Tennessee hasn't run a lot of, if you notice, they've just won battles one-on-one. I talked to Cooper Mays about that on the Vol Report, brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning. City Heat and Air, integrity matters, 50 years in East Tennessee. But I was talking to him about that, and they're winning more one-on-one battles. So they're not doing that as often. But this might be the game where some Addison Nichols tendencies and you can confuse him. That to me is a real possibility. And if you see sacks up the middle, just take a second, watch the replay, and see if it's a looping end or if he just got beat up front, because both are going to happen on multiple occasions on Saturday.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I think both will. I think that. So let's ask this: who could provide more insight? Who would be more useful? Addison Nichols knowing Tennessee's defensive line, or Doneiko Slaughter knowing Tennessee's receivers?
I think both are minimal, but I'll say that Doneiko Slaughter could have more of an impact on the game from an X's and O's scheme standpoint. I know you're Squirrel, you do this well. I don't see, as a matter of fact, I think it's more the other side with Nichols. I think he should just be scared. And I'm going to go ahead and tag him on this tweet right now. Should VFL Addison Nichols.
But you're going to VFL him?
I am going to VFL him because I think it's a little bit tongue in cheek.
Put it in quotes, because otherwise you're going to confuse people.
Okay. All right. Put it in quotes, but whatever. Let's reset that to the poll question. Who should be more concerned about the Tennessee matchup? Is it Doneiko Slaughter or Addison Nichols?
Who should be more scared about facing Tennessee?
Exactly. That's what I meant. So you made it better. So which would you say?
You make a great point with Addison Nichols. You do. I mean, I really can't dispute what you're saying there, but I'm going to go to Doneiko Slaughter only because I've told you this. I feel like Arkansas is the game where they air out Nico a lot. Not Nico. And also, Dave, I thought about this recently, and it's more prudent than I really gave credit to. But I've kind of looked at a lot of online blogs and online video footage and breakdowns, and one of the reasons they didn't air it out that much against Oklahoma is because the Oklahoma field was so bad. And
there's a lot of truth to that. Now, people said, were they worried about injuries? I don't think that was the case. I just think it was a sloppy field, a sloppy game. And really that shows you Oklahoma's dedication or lack thereof to football. Because what happened after, I'm going to go way back, the Jackson 5 Victory Tour in 1985. What happened? Well, they tore the hell out of the field. Okay, so how long was it before they had another concert? I guess it was Kenny Chesney for like 20 years.
Yep.
What happened when Butch Jones showed up? He goes, you know what we need to do? We need to resod the field every spring so it looks good for recruiting. You're an idiot. The field fell apart in the fall. It was an embarrassment. So that field, we haven't even talked about that. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Oklahoma, but that field told me right there, they're not SEC ready, because you're not going to see that type of chunky, awful field at Alabama, at Georgia, and you're not going to see it at Tennessee unless $7 haircut is in charge, and he's not.
Well, what if Oklahoma messed up that field wants the field to be this way on purpose because they're so defensive oriented, they want to slow down offenses?
Well, I thought about that too, but I don't.
Because
but typically you just let the grass grow a little bit longer. I'll give you for instance, like my high school played an inner city school, and they were incredibly athletic. And my high school was in basketball was a ball control type of team, and they would turn the heat up by 6 degrees in the gym. I mean, it was noticeably hotter for those in the Knoxville area when Powell played Austin Easton basketball. But I think you just grow the grass. I don't think you sacrifice the field for the rest of the year, because that field's never going to be right for the remainder of the year.
Well, it's not just about Tennessee though. It's about everybody Oklahoma plays, because they know they were more built defensively, so they want to slow everybody down they play. I'm just saying, I don't think Arkansas is going to do that, and I think because of that, Tennessee is going to be able to light it up a lot more against Arkansas than they did against Oklahoma, because you know who's not smart enough to think ahead like that, the way we're talking about, Dave? Sam Pitman.
Sam Pitman is a saint and a great man. I don't understand why you dislike Sam Pitman so much. He is a fantastic American. What the H brought to you by Medicare. Misty will reset that poll question 30 seconds.
19 years this year. Well, I've been in the community since 1993. You're getting a lot of information. Unlike when you were working, they made the choice for you. Now you have to make the choice. Come to us and let us help you make it easy. Call Medicare Misty, MedicareMisty.com or 423-777-5577. Let us help them sleep at night.
And we call her Medicare Misty.
All right, reset that poll question. Who should be more concerned, Addison Nichols or Doneiko Slaughter, about getting lambasted by the Vols?
Oh, I've already got it. And
well, that early voting doesn't count. What is this, the presidential election? All right, so you can go ahead and we've now declared that Al Gore will be the next president of the United States. Oops. All right, so go ahead and click on that QR code, because you can actually get it done like right now. We're going to give away that pick six. So the pick six is 6 glossy photos that are autographed by the current Tennessee defensive backs. So that's a pretty awesome gift that we're giving away later today. So go ahead, click on the QR code. It's just $9.98. Increased recruiting coverage there, and also more interaction with me and Caleb Calhoun. It's brought to you by Sports Treasures. Over 5 million Sports Treasures in North Knoxville. They are phenomenal. Follow them on Facebook, Sports Treasures TN, Sports Treasures TN. Now, you can be a free member of Hooker's Corner, and as long as you're subscribed to this station, take part in Rick Terry's Great 8 Garmin Challenge. The Great 8 Garmin Challenge means when we hit 8,000 subscribers, which will be just, I think, a month and a half based off current projections, then we're giving away a Garmin worth over $1,000. So I want to be sure and thank Rick Terry. Ask about the Fire Opals, affordable game day jewelry, personalized custom jewelry that is all about you and your loved ones. Update us on the poll question, Caleb Calhoun.
all right, so maybe it's not as early as before, but who should be more scared of facing Tennessee? 59% say Doneiko Slaughter and 41% say Addison Nichols. So more people are on my side than yours.
I think they want to embarrass Addison Nichols.
Addison Nichols has taken more shots this week. I mean, Doneiko Slaughter has been
I'm not
quiet.
even saying because of that. Addison Nichols was a key component for this Tennessee football team to step in and be a guard. And he wasn't ready, so they had to go the Keurig route. And then he was supposed to be a backup center, and he wasn't ready, so they had to go the Ollie Lane route, and we'll have him later on in the program. And I got a lot of respect for Ollie Lane, but Nichols was the 4-star guy. I think, Caleb, tell me if this is too far, but I think Josh Heupel and this entire staff would like to show up Addison Nichols because he was an important part of this building program. And not that he left for more playing time, but just that he didn't develop, that it took that sort of wake-up call to, like, you're still second, maybe third string as of last year. I think they want to show him up.
Dave, but you're forgetting this. Because someone's calling me out on the message board and I have to say it. I stand corrected. Sam Pitman is a genius, and he's an offensive line coach, and his genius and his intellect will be imparted into Addison Nichols and make Addison Nichols a very effective player no matter what Tennessee tries to do.
Yeah. Go ahead. Convince yourself of that. Keep going on that. But really, I mean, seriously, we're having a way different conversation if Addison Nichols develops, right? Because you and I were discussing, and Josh Mancuso, who is really good. I don't know. He does all the impressions and the stuff. He's really funny. He commented on a Twitter post that you put out and said Caleb's onto something with Tennessee's offensive line and lack of development there. But I think Caleb's on to something, but my retort was, look at guys like Larry Johnson III, who I think is developing quite well. Look at Darnell Wright. Look at Cooper Mays, who have developed quite well. And then it gets a little harder for me to make an argument after that. But if I could make an argument that Addison Nichols will be ready to start next year, then it's a better topic of debate. But Caleb, it's not, because he didn't. And if I'm a recruiter and a head coach that lined up some NIL money for him, which I'm sure they did, I'm feeling a little bit bleeped over.
I mean, I totally agree. And as a matter of fact, Addison Nichols was kind of the first like big time recruit that Tennessee added in Josh Heupel's first big time signee that we all thought could turn into something. And so it was shocking how that all played out. So I can see what you're saying, that they're taking things a little personal. I think now Josh Heupel's just taking what Sam Pitman did personal. Really? You're going to name my 2 former transfers captains against me? Okay. Let's let me, it's time for me to show you up. I think Josh Heupel's taking what Sam Pitman did more personal than anything. And so I think Josh Heupel is ready to humiliate him. And also because he had to be reserved and not humiliate Oklahoma because of the poor field and the injuries at tackle. I think he really wants to unleash his anger this week.